Ladies and gentlemen, I would love to welcome everybody back to the Joe Show. I'm your host, Joseph Decker. Hope everyone's doing fabulous this evening. It's 6 o'clock here Central Time, and we're getting you guys going with a fun episode today. We're coming off a hot episode, man. Last week was big time. We did a show all about third region basketball and everything around it. And, it was large amounts of success. We gave away a lot of money and prizes during that show. But more importantly, what we really did was give a lot of different athletes the ability to talk, come on here, talk about the season. We had 25 plus guests from 11 different schools. So if you didn't get to catch that one, go ahead and go rewatch it. It's available on all of our social media, which we stream on. So just go back, watch that, and enjoy it. I highly recommend to everybody that's not, go ahead and leave a follow on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. It's all listed below. Go leave that a follow so you can stay up to date with us, get updates about when we're live, when we're out and about. This Saturday, we will be at Paul Biancardi's basketball camp in Nashville. Big camp, some of the best players in the country. So that'll be a really fun event. And then tomorrow we'll be at a business event. We're doing some business conventions, talking to sponsors, doing things like that. So expect maybe a post about that. And then Friday night, we'll be at all football. We got Barron County versus Glasgow, which is a big-time rivalry over here in kind of the central part of Kentucky. So that'll be fun. We'll interview the winning team. We had plans to maybe do a show with both sides, have them both on here at the same time, but that just didn't work out with timing and other things we had planned. So this is going to be a fun episode. We're with Dreyton Davis and Daishawn Curry from Union County, Kentucky. But it's not just all about Union County today. We're also going to be talking about the Up Next AAU program, who's got one of our fan favorites here in the third region on that team, Mercer Rogers. So you guys will love to hear about that a little bit. We'll talk about a little bit of the backstory, what made them kind of start and the kind of start of Up Next. We'll talk about the program, some of the guys involved, players, the league they've played in, and some of the things they've done this summer, maybe if they're winning events of that nature. We'll be talking to Daishawn all about him as a player, what makes him special, things he's done this summer, AAU, his recent season with Union County. He led them in scoring at 13.9. And Coach, we'll have Coach talk about him a little bit, talk about Daishawn as a person, a player, a character, things like that. And, Drayton, I seen looking through his social media, he played basketball too in the past. So we'll be talking to him a little bit about his career and, then coaching. So I think this will be a really fun episode for those Union County basketball fans in here. We'll be talking about expectations, highlighting some of the guys on the roster, and just getting people in the know with it. I'll hit Coach with some questions all about the second region, because I've said it since day one, since we've done this show, that I think the second and first region, Western Kentucky, is extremely underrated and doesn't get the coverage and love that things like the, sixth region, the fifth region, fourth, third, things in this area of Central Kentucky get. So I think this will be a great opportunity for you guys to hear a little bit about the Western Kentucky basketball scene and get even more familiar with the AAU program. I know a lot of people like AAU basketball around here. We have so many more people playing AAU basketball than ever before, so I think that's a big deal. I think everybody should play AAU. You guys know I'm a big ambassador for that. So also want to do this first, guys. I want to shout out our amazing sponsors. Once again, our show is not possible without our sponsors. So thank you so much for sponsoring. That's Grayville Funeral Home. We'll start right and go left today. We'll do Grayville Funeral Home, located in Brownsville, Kentucky, owned by Roy Grayville, longtime sponsor, longtime friend. Ronald Scott Lindsay is the judge executive of Edmonson County, Kentucky. He is one of our sponsors, longtime supporter as well. Thank you. Corey Colberth, Edmonson County, Kentucky Farm Bureau, insurance agent. Be sure to give him your business and talk to him. Corey's a great guy. We have some things in the future we're looking to do with Corey. It's some basketball giveaways, tickets, things like that. So stay involved with that. Elkins Grove Wedding and Event Venue. Go to our Facebook. We recently tweeted and posted about Elkins Grove. Vote for them as best venue. I think it's in the state, believe it or not. So go ahead and leave them guys a vote if you guys don't care. That's located in Smiths Grove, Kentucky again. AJ Barbershop is located in Morgantown, Kentucky, Butler County, Kentucky. Thank you so much for sponsoring. It's a great environment, two amazing barbers in Harold and Angelo, and it's just a great place to be. They do great cuts. Leave them follows on social medias. Bullseye Taxidermy is RB Griffin, longtime supporter and great friend. Thank you so much, RB, for coming through with the taxidermy. He can do anything. So their numbers and their ways to contact are all listed above on their logo or on our social media. And I would like to give a huge special shout out to Scott's Gag Photography, recently coming back on and sponsoring with us. So, we've posted about them in the past, and you guys know how to get a hold of them. So thank you, Scott, for coming through and sponsoring again. You guys ready for the show? We got a good amount of people in here getting ready. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as of now. I want to thank everybody who's coming in here early at 6:07. About to welcome in Drayton Davis and Daishawn Curry from Union County, Kentucky. In case you missed that, we'll be talking about AAU, school ball, and much more. So I want to welcome these guys here in just a second. And once again, I want to say thank you, everyone who's tuned in early so far. We'll be welcoming on Coach Dreyton and Daishawn Curry right now. What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Can't complain.
Guys, Coach Drayton actually reached out to me a little bit and kind of told me about the show. He had the idea, and I thought, we had to get him on here and talk about basketball, whether if it's up next or Union County in general. So we'll be talking about both of those things today. We got some good questions. I want to let everybody know, if you're watching from the Union County area, you have any questions, want to leave them in the chat, go ahead. We'll answer those as well. So, Drayton, let's start off with this, man. So I want to start talking about up next basketball. You and Daishawn, both of you guys kind of touch in, talk about it. So tell me about up next. What was kind of the startup of this program? Where did it come from?
Right. So we actually joined up next last year. My guy Darnell Wills, who's practically the founder, he asked me to bring over my 2025 group. We used to go by New Outlaws that I started. I started New Outlaws. We joined with those guys because they didn't really have the 2025 team they were looking for to compete on Adidas Gold. So we jumped on their team with those guys, and we had a really good year on the Adidas Gold circuit. What do we go, 4-0? 4-0 in Birmingham on the first trip, and then the second trip we didn't do so hot. I think we went 2-2 or something like that, and it kind of stunned us from going to the Rock Hill Championships down there with the 3SSB guys. So that's what we're looking for this year. Is we're looking to build something strong and go compete at the Adidas stops, and we're looking for in July to go to play with those 3SSB guys and get a lot of attention there. So just looking to compete at a higher level next year.
Of course. Another thing I want to talk about is the roster for this squad you have. You talk about Daishawn, but, I kind of highlighted at a guy in Mercer Rogers, who a lot of local people around here know. I texted about him a little bit. Well, tell me about the roster, some of the guys that play for your team. If you can maybe tell me the high school they play at, just tell me about the roster.
Right. Okay, I got you. So Mercer Rogers, Breckenridge County, definitely our floor general, was a great point guard for me the past year and a half. I think I had him last July. And I had him all season before he got hurt. He missed the last two, or he got hurt the first game down in Rock Hill. That was his knee injury where he got hurt, hyperextended his knee real bad. So he didn't play the rest of that. And then he wasn't able to play the next live period. We really missed him in that championships too. We got to the Sweet 16, played a really good guard. Mercer would have been a great matchup for him, and just missed him in that game. Jaden Marr out of Greene County up in Greensburg, Kentucky in Region 5. He's been a guy for me the past 3 years. I've never had a problem out of him. His motor is high. Plays both sides of the ball with a lot of intensity. Then I had 3 guys from Louisville this past year. I had Graham Craisman out of St. Xavier, 6'6", strong forward, real strong. He's a good stretch, can shoot the ball, catch it in the post, make 1-2 dribbles, and score. Very efficient. Brooks Cargold from North Oldham, knocked down three-point shooter, shot like 43% his junior season. Had a lot of games where he hit 5, 6, 7+ threes. Who else we got? Cole Harbin from Collins High School up in Shelbyville. Another dog, strong guard, can do it all. Really turned it on in July. Had a bunch of 20-point games. Really turned it on. And then I got my guy Elijah Suggs from Henderson County, 6'7", hot flyer. The paint is his. You guys, you're not going to get in the paint and expect to make easy layups. He's going to move everything. Super long wingspan. I mean, he controls the paint. Who else did I have? Did I cover everybody? Gummy Johnston, Montgomery Johnston, and Rex Blue from Dawson Springs, two high-point guys. Both averaged over 20 points last season as juniors. Keaton Hughes, we had Keaton for a few tournaments in Owensboro. I'm sure people out here know Keaton, 6'8" guy, 6'8" power forward center, pretty strong in the paint. So we had a pretty good roster.
Oh, yeah. Some great players from around the area that, a few you talked about, Mercer, Keaton, 2 I know pretty well. So that's a great, strong team. Talked about some other guys as well. But, Coach, I want to talk about Union basketball as well, man. Let's talk about, some of the expectations. This program in the school better than anybody. Tell me about some of the guys on the Union basketball side, not just Daishawn, but some of his teammates. And also want you to tell me about the expectations, for this team this year. You've got to see some open gyms so far, train with them a little bit. So tell me about Union County basketball, who they have on their roster, and what's some of your expectations for this season.
Right. So Union County, if anybody doesn't know where Union County is, We're on the other side of Henderson, not the Evansville side, but the other side. I don't know if it's east or west or whatever. But so we got all 5 returning varsity starters. We've got Daishawn, my little brother Jaron Johnson, who was a 2,000+ yard rusher last year, doing well this year too. We got Kale Johnson, Cameron Miller, and Jaden Wilson. Those are our starting guys, and we also return our 6-man, Cratavion Rapier. So we're expecting to have a pretty good season once we get those football guys back, get them in shape, and get going. We got a lot to work on. Just getting to where we want to be. Every year we got to compete with Henderson and Webster. We want to be at the top of the 6th district, and we're looking to make that region run this year too. We feel like this region's pretty wide open, and it's whoever wants it. So we're coming for it.
I will agree with that statement you made. I think the 2nd region this year is kind of wide open. I think there's some great teams in there. Henderson County, I feel like will always compete. In University Heights, we've had Coach on here, and so as Elijah Walton. That's going to be a great team and program, and that'll be fun to see. I also like Trigg, got to talk to those guys. But the 2nd region, with Lyon County, they still have some great players and they can still compete. But, they took a hard fall after losing everybody last year. So I think the 2nd region is a lot more open than it's ever been. So I think it'll be fun over there in Western Kentucky. But, Coach, tell me a little bit more about the 2nd region. Not just you all, but tell me about some of the guys in the area and, why you think you all can win district and, make a region push. And when you're going hot and you're hot in region, anything can happen from there and you can make it to state. So tell me a little bit about the 2nd region and why you think you all can compete so well.
Right. Well, I think we can compete first off because we bring back everything from last year.
Yeah.
These guys have been playing basketball together since 2nd grade, so we've always expected a good year this year from these guys. Last year, I think we could have did a little bit better, but we did what we did. And now we got to move on from it and look forward. I can't really speak much on the 2nd region because I don't really know what everybody has coming back. I know what Henderson and Webster County bring back. I know UHA brings back Tylen. Tylen was also a part of our roster in July. I forgot to mention his name. My bad, Tylen, if you're watching. I know they got Tylen and Elijah. I think they've got a kid named Keyshawn that's pretty good that transferred from Todd County. Christian County's got some pieces. They also got Dior Curtis. I know he's got something cooking over there. He went to state with Murray a few years back. Hopkinsville, I'm not sure what Hopkinsville has. I know Livingston has a couple pieces. They got my guy Logan Ring, 6'6". He's a bull in the China shop down there, and I think they picked somebody else up too. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I think it's pretty wide open. All 8 teams that'll make the region it'll be tough. It'll be a battle most games. So
yeah.
It'll be good. It'll be good competitive.
Well, Coach, let's talk about Daishawn beside you, man. We haven't talked to him just yet, but tell me about Daishawn a little bit before we start talking to him. What makes Daishawn such a special player, and why'd you kind of want to bring him on here with you today?
All right. Well, I think Daishawn needs to get his name out there a little bit more. That's why I wanted to bring him on here, and people need to know a little bit more about him because I feel like when he's got his head on and he's playing great, he's by far one of the better players in Western Kentucky. He's all over the rim, can shoot the ball. Like I said, he can really go. So I just want people to know Daishawn Curry's name because I expect him to have a big year. He finished the season averaging 14, but at Christmas he was averaging 18. Sometimes he kind of hit a little plummet, but there's nothing wrong with that. We're learning from it, and we're going to be a lot better this year. So.
Of course, Coach. And, Daishawn, he kind of talked about you and described your game a little bit there. But, Daishawn, I'd like to talk to you a little bit. We have lots of coaches that watch people who watch here, and, they're liking to get familiar with players and hear about them a little bit. So I'd like to hear you describe your game a little bit, Daishawn, and what makes you special as a player.
I mean, I feel like I can see the floor pretty well. Like, I got good vision. I always hit my open teammates. I can be aggressive, attack. I can still shoot. So I feel like I'm just like 3-level scorer. I can really do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Well, here's a key thing I also love to hear from. You get the coaches who come on here and talk about their team, and they give their side of it and how they feel. But Daishawn, being one of the top guys on the team, leading this team, this team as well just as much as anybody. So talk about Union County a little bit for me in your perspective, what you see out of these guys every day at practice or an open gym and some of your expectations for this team this season.
I mean, we got to get more disciplined. We aren't the most disciplined, so we're working on that. We got to get tougher. We've been in the weight room, so we've been conditioning. I feel like we'll do good this season.
Mhm. Well, kind of speaking about the second region kind of being open and you guys are turning everybody, your roster looks strong. You guys have a great supporting staff for coaches. And, it looks like Union County is kind of projected to be a great team here in the second region. I like University Heights as well, who I think will compete. And I know my guy Bray Kirk's still over there at Lyon County. So it'll be competition. It won't be too easy. But, it'll be a fun. Tell me about this, Daishawn. Let's talk about your summer, your experience, playing AAU basketball, summer ball with Union County, the team. Tell me about your summer and some of the success that followed you.
For the first part, what would you say? Like the first couple weeks, I wasn't playing. I was out from an injury that happened last high school season. Um, but when I came back, I was still just trying to get used to the flow again because I was out for 3 months. I was trying to get used to the flow, get back in shape. So I mean, I feel like I was still doing things on the court, but it wasn't what majority of people are used to.
So tell me a little bit about the summer ball. Teams don't just play AAU. You have your summer ball period where people's going to events like a Collins or, going and playing in Bowling Green tournaments, WKU camp. Where did you guys kind of play this summer with Union County? And, was there a lot of success with you all? And both of you all can touch on this one as well.
We did. I'll take over a little bit, but we did well. We went up to USI and played a couple games, played some strong competition. See, whenever we're in summer ball, we got like Jaron Johnson, Cortavion. We lose a couple guys to football stuff. They do a lot of football stuff down here in the summer, so we lose a couple guys. Played some good competition though, and we did well with what we had. But like I said, we really don't see everything come around until the start of basketball season. Yeah. So it's hard to really go off with what we think we can do with football players doing both. You know what I'm saying? So.
Coach, let's go back to up next a little bit and tell me about it. So you guys had a really successful summer, it sounded like, and you guys really got to where y'all wanted to. Obviously you want to go to that championship time. You want to go up there and compete at the highest. You said y'all just missed it this year, but what's the future for this up next program? I know that's a little bit of a ways from now. That's next summer, but you kind of think about it a little bit. I believe you might have posted this. I could be wrong, but I seen some tryouts talking about guys coming and playing. So tell me a little bit about that, getting other guys recruited to come play and, some of your goals for next season with up next.
Right. Well, we feel like Western Kentucky, especially over in our parts, has a lot to offer with the kids that in the area. So this open run that we're having next weekend, September 28th from 2 to 4, it's open to 3rd and 4th graders and 6th to 11th. We're opening that up to the 6th to 11th grade. We want to put teams at each level. Even our middle school, we got big stuff planned for the middle school, 6th to 8th grade. But those 9th to 11th grade teams, we're looking to, put the best kids that we can that want to play together and be a team. But up next, our thing is hard over hype. So we're not worried about getting the best guys. We want the guys that can play ball, know how to play ball, and do the right things. Mainly play defense. That's what we do a lot over here is we try to play hard defense, play 94 feet and stuff like that. And the goal is just, to get that elite exposure and get back to Rock Hill and be on the big platform this time and not playing in the Gold Championship. A lot of people don't realize that's what Adidas Gold, really the best thing about Adidas Gold is if you play well enough through those first two periods, then you get to go to Rock Hill, and they take 4 to 6 teams from each age group. So there's a big chance there. You just got to play well, know how to play ball a little bit, and like I said, just take advantage of the opportunity. So that's our main thing, and then getting those other top exposure events like the May Hoops and stuff. We want to play the best competition there and compete, not just play. Just we want to compete. So and get guys to the next level. That's the ultimate goal of AAU is getting guys to the next level. So we got some work to do with 2025 still on that part, but we're going to get there for sure, and those guys will see that soon. So.
100%, Coach. We talked about the tryouts a little bit, next weekend, those age ranges you mentioned, but, is it invite only? Can anybody attend? Tell a little bit about that because I know we have some guys watching, especially in our area who don't have an AAU team who could be interested. So kind of elaborate a little more on that one for us.
Right. So we don't call it a tryout because we feel like, it's September, late September. Yeah. So teams aren't going to be finalized till probably February or so, January. Ideally January, you want to know what you're putting together. But it's just the open run, open to 3rd and 4th graders and then 6th to 11th. We're just looking to see who wants to come out and compete a little bit. We're not trying to see guys get hurt or nothing, guys going out there diving on loose balls or nothing because we know basketball season's coming up. But we just want to see who wants to come out and be a part of something special. Like I said, we want to put teams 6th to 11th grade up. So we're looking to build a family-like basis and go from there. Build guys' character, build guys' skill set, and, just going from there.
Coach, another thing that I kind of mentioned to all the coaches that come on here, especially when they bring a player, is I'd like for you to kind of tell me about Daishawn in your eyes, not just as a player, but as a person. A big valued thing from college coaches. I was texting a coach from SIU today, and a big thing for them is character. A lot of times they'll ask a coach, them as a person, a character, how they act, how they are in the classroom as a person. So that's something I want to ask you, tell me a little bit about Daishawn and kind of what makes him special, but exclude basketball a little bit. Don't just talk about basketball talents. What makes him special, and why he's such a great person.
Yeah, I think I can elaborate there. Me and Daishawn are actually related. We're cousins too, so it makes it a lot easier. He's always on the road with me, so I see him all the time. He's practically like one of my better friends, if I may. Daishawn, very charismatic kid, loving, all about his family, protective over his mom. He loves his mom. He might not. He's laughing because he knows it's the truth. But very charismatic, very loving. He'll do anything for anybody that he loves. And that's what I like about him is that he's very caring person. That's about all I got. He's a great person all around. Great kid in the schoolroom. So great leader.
Well, those are some of the high key things that people talk about. Gotta love the love for the family. That'll always get you a long way right there by itself. But, Coach, I want to give you the opportunity here. I got one or two questions kind of to end this off a little bit. But tell me some things. Is there anything we haven't really talked about yet you'd like to add on? Any other guys you might want to mention, things like that. And then we'll get closer here to the end time.
Right. So we can talk middle school, Union County Middle School ball. I just took the head coaching position over there this year. So I'm really excited about that. We did our tryouts last year. We started practicing with what we've got this week and the end of last week. I got my guy, Kais Jones, man. Kais Jones will be a name you will want to remember. Mark it down. Because Kais Jones is physically, he's way much more ahead than everybody. He's up here whenever it comes to IQ of the game. He's got it. He can go. The kid can go. He's just stronger than everybody. He can shoot. The kid, he's probably close to 6 foot now, and he's a pure guard. He's not nobody that's going to be playing big. I expect him to do really big things this year and even next year. We've talked about what his plans are for the future, and his plans are high, so we expect a lot out of him. We've got my guy, Markai Hillsman, a great shooter on the 8th grade team. And we've got some other guys that can go too, but those two guys right there are two key players for me this year. Kais is also in 7th grade too. I forgot to say that, but he'll play up 8th grade. And if you check our schedule, every team's going to know Kais Jones' name. He's one that will leave a stain on you. So yeah, I'm excited about my middle school season too. We're trying to do big things. We want to win conference 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Just like up here at the high school, we're going to compete with the 6th district teams, and we want to get that 6th district championship and make that region run. So,
well, it's unfortunate because it's not really covered at the same level as high school. But as a guy who's seen lots of middle school basketball, it's competitive. And it's fun to watch. It's honestly on the same level as high school, and there's competitiveness. Those guys still go at it like normal. But, Coach, I want to say congratulations on landing that job. I didn't tell you that. But middle school is really important because it's kind of like one of the most, maybe the most important kind of development part of their life, especially, getting ready. That's kind of when you get a taste. A lot of guys decide, if I want to continue this in high school, continue to pursue this. So it's a big task, being a middle school head coach, especially over there in West Kentucky, where you guys have a lot of great players and you guys want it and there's potential. You talk about some of your key players, so I got to ask you this, man. How excited are you for this season? And, you think you're ready to take up the challenge and be their head coach?
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. And I got some great guys with me, Antonio Davis and Jalen Goodrich. Antonio's a guy that he coached me whenever I played high school ball, was the assistant coach. And then Jalen actually beat us twice last year with Browning Springs in the conference tournament. So I brought him along, get some of that championship experience. Yeah, he's a great vocal leader. So, we're ready. We think we can play with the best of them in the conference, and we want to have a great season. Not lose too many games. Win way more than we lose. So, like I said, a great group. That 8th grade group is very strong. So, be on the lookout for them, Joseph.
Oh, we will, man. If there's anything, a newsletter or something to post, a big game, always send that my way. We'll share it. We got to hear from Daishawn. Talk to Daishawn as a player. Coach give his opinions on him. Talk to why he's so special of an athlete. Get his name out there to coaches. We talked about Union basketball. We really got to talk about up next. Talked about the roster. In case you missed that, go back a little earlier into the show. But Coach, is there any leaving remarks you want to leave off, man, before we hop off here? We're hitting the 25-minute mark. It's 6:27 where I'm at. Is there anything you want to leave us off with? We'll talk to Daishawn after.
I just want to say thank you for having me on here, having me and Daishawn on here. I think what you're doing is big, especially in this area. We don't have many guys trying to start up podcasts and interviews and interact a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you could, I think you should try to reach out to some more second region schools. Keep on building what you're doing because it's going to blow. Like I said, you do it great enough. You're going to blow up, and you're going to have guys from all the way from Paducah watching you all the way to where you're at now. So keep on doing what you're doing. I appreciate it, and it looks great.
Well, that means a lot, Coach. Talked about last week having one of our biggest shows ever, and continuing to ride that train. Success has followed, and it means a lot. And I'd love to do more work. I'd love to come out to Union County this year, watch a game, cover it a little bit. Region 2 is fun. Especially the work we did with University Heights, and then last year with Lyon County. So when we cover Region 2, it's been nothing but fun. So I think that's great. Coach, I want to ask you this last thing. It came to my mind when we were talking about that. There's a lot of people out there, who still have the dream to be a basketball coach. They'd love to coach basketball. Myself included would love to coach basketball in the future. So with you being a younger guy, getting into the coaching realm, landing a head coach job, getting to inspire these kids daily, what's some advice you would give to a younger person who's interested in coaching in the future?
This is just for anything. I feel like anything in general. If you want to do anything, just go for it.
Yeah.
Like Nike says, just do it. Because, you never know where you could end up. I wasn't the greatest basketball player by any means. So, you gotta just go for something. If you want to do it, you got to reach for it and go with it. Don't just go with it and stop and don't know if you're going to do it. Go with it. Go all the way. So.
Well, Coach, you say you weren't that great of a basketball player, but I seen the photo of you holding the trophy, the district championship. So you could argue that. But Daishawn, I'll ask you this, man. Is there any leaving remarks you want to end us off with here? Tell the people watching in case. And if not, we'll kind of head off here and we'll get going.
No, I don't got too much to say. Thank you for having us.
No problem. And I hope to cover you guys and see you all in the future again. And you're welcome back on the show at any time, guys. Thank you for hopping on. It means a lot.
Yes, sir. Keep doing what you're doing, Joseph. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. That was Coach Dreyton and Daishawn from Union County Basketball. Thank those guys for hopping on so much. I want to thank everybody for coming on and watching today. It wasn't last week a 3-hour show, but we still had a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here and watching, of course. We had a good audience on here today. That's really fun. I love that. So I'd love if everybody could leave a like, share, make sure everybody can see this. I love when communities have a player and a coach on and they can all kind of watch and they can all kind of see these guys talk, especially, for a place like Evans County, a county school, you get the community together to watch a show. It means a lot. It's impactful to a lot of people. That's why we love doing work with county schools so much at the same time. We'll do any type of school, but, the county school and the love and the support their whole community shows for a player or a person is amazing. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in today and watching our show. I want to thank our sponsors one last time. Bullseye Taxidermy, AJ Barbershop, Elkins Grove, Corey Colbert Farm Bureau, Ronald Scott Lindsay, Judge Executive, and Gravel Funeral Home, and last but not least, Scott's Gag Photography here in Evans County, Kentucky. Be sure to leave a like, follow, subscribe, share, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in.